warning before we begin. This podcast is explicit in every way. Red Rocks is pretty iconic. It looks almost like the stage was dropped right in the middle of the Grand Canyon. And for some artists, it's like a bucket list type of show. But it was far from that for Rico. If anything, this show made things worse. The speakers blew out and the crowd started booing again. And then...
This one was more fun. It was a glass bottle this time. I had on my moon boots, so like it just hit the front of my boot. I just was on the mic. I was like, what are y'all so mad for? And I remember turning around and my manager grabbed me. And I'm like, let me go. Like, I don't give a fuck. And then my other tour manager is like, give me the mic. So I took the mic and I smiled at the nigga that did sound, like, fuck you, basically, like, you're a bitch ass nigga. And then I took the mic and I threw it as far in the air as I could. And I remember when it came down, it made the craziest sound.
On the cement?
On the cement. It completely, like, shattered.
Altogether, there were about 30 of them. Some of the women are carrying turkeys, which they were bringing as presents for their relatives they were going to stay with in Kabul. The men were hoping to find work in Kabul, or some of them were going on to Iran.
Many of these people were
Hazaras, who are a Shia population in Afghanistan, who are considered heretics by the Taliban and treated mercilessly by the Taliban. And therefore they were afraid because they were traveling through Taliban-held territory. They thought, they could get through in the dark and no one would see them. So they thought they were alone when they were wrong.
And she pushed me away just a little bit and she said, okay, go. And I ran past her and I jumped. And she kind of lifted me a little bit higher, which was really cool.
Latasha still remembers the feeling of being swung around the room, following along with her grandma's lead.
And she said, okay, hold on to me. And so then I held her hand tighter.
The way her great-grandmother pushed her away, and then just as suddenly pulled her in close.
Today on the show...
Did someone say pleasure?
Whoa, who are you?
I'm Hedone, daughter of Eros and Psyche.
OMG! I think I learned about you in school.
Oh, then you know that I am the goddess of pleasure, enjoyment, delight.
Wow. Are you going to help us, explain how economists account for pleasure in inflation?
No, that sounds boring.